page, Keith Ngesi Radio, YouTube channel, what do radio according to MTN, and Joban Sichoke, she's here, she's beautiful, and radio, petting the calf, right. Well, Sis Ella, good morning, and thank you so much for joining us.
Malweni, good morning, Keith Ngesi station. Thank you so much for having me.
Siyabulela Sis Ella mphulaphula ubuqala banathi inqubeni sinqokola naye uSis Ella MTN Eastern Cape Regional Marketing Manager sake siva besike sanqokola nabo last year bethetha ke becacisa izinto ezidibenise nawe ke ezi-impacta wena because ke bayafundisa MTN manditsho bafundisa i-consumers zabo and on impact of socio-economic issues into ezifana ne-load shedding njalo njalo. So namhlanje sawuba kumaxa bendawuni na ke kuyo yonke loo nto le. Sis Ella masigawule siwarhuqa. Please explain to our customers okanye ke viewers at home, why are you here today kahle kahle?
Enkosi Lhoza, I was here last year, and I think that is Anati, if I'm not mistaken. Because Saza ebantwini bethu, because we had come to a realization yokuba our network was under strain. And as a result, customer experience was being impacted and compromised.
Sure.
So last year when I came, the primary job to be done was to come to our people and acknowledge first that there was an issue, and then explain what the issue was, what it is that we as a business were doing to resolve the issue. Because we believe that transparency, Lhoza, in terms of crisis and challenge is key, right? Yes, the network was under strain, and predominantly due to two, or let's say three factors, and load shedding being the major factor. Just to give context, umbane or electricity powers our network towers, and when in-network infrastructure yet was built exactly 30 years ago this year, it was built on a reliable and a constant power supply, right? So that's why now when load shedding came, there were some interruptions to us being able to give a superior experience to our customers. So the first issue was load shedding. ASB was vandalism. And I think AS3 was theft of network infrastructure. So I came to say we understand and acknowledge that there's an issue, but also these are the reasons why there was an issue. And lastly, and I think the most important thing, was to tell our customers what it is that we were planning as MTN business to solve and resolve the issues that they were experiencing, so that ultimately their overall experience on the ground network is as superior as they had gotten accustomed to over the years.
Iyavakala Sis Ella, but ke make singene kulo mcimbi ke ngoku, now that you have given us the context yayo yonke le, let's move on to the business of the year. Is there anything, Sis Ella, that can be done, or has anything been done to lessen ke the impact that these issues have on overall customer experience? Khona umcimbi okunciphisa le experience yabathengi, because ke hayi siyagowa shem.
There absolutely is something that we're doing. We started doing it last year already, because I think it would have been unwise for us as MTN to just come to these kind of platforms just to talk about the challenges. Yes. So like I said earlier on, the conversation was twofold. Transparency is key in times of crisis, but also the core of our relationship with our customers, Lhoza, whether we like it or not, as a network service provider, it's network. That's the core. Without the network, there is no relationship between MTN and our customers. And so we did embark on a project, City Network Resilience. It's not technical at all if you think about it. City resilient. We mean that umdu can withstand, whatever's thrown at them. And so we project here is called Network Resilience, because we're trying to make sure that all these issues that impact the quality of the service we deliver to our people, as impacting impacting. So we address the issue of load shedding. Safaki battery, the source of power for our sites is electricity. So in
Bani.
the absence of electricity, there's no life in the tower. So battery, as we understand, gives life to tower zethu in the absence
Sure.
of umbane, right? But also we understand that load shedding is in different stages, Lhoza. Sometimes go stage 2, a bit of 2 hours here and there. Sometimes go stage 6, you know.
Sale 6
Sometimes
sigowet.
stage you are hit twice or 3 times. And as we understand, batteries need to be charged, you know. Ndifuna umuntu understand xa sithi ubuthe battery, you know, the higher the stage of load shedding, the less time we have to charge the batteries. So the experience is going to be impacted. And so for certain sites, we were able to go beyond a battery. Safaka le nto sithi generator. If there's no power and the load shedding stage is higher than our batteries can take, then scenario generator. But I do want to also be transparent and say, because the network infrastructure was built on a reliable power source, you can imagine we now are having to change the entire operating model as a business. And so it's an extremely capital intensive exercise. And so we are staggering it. It's in stages. But as far as load shedding is concerned and the ambition for the future as a business, we are aiming to get to a point where we are operating outside of umbane so that the experience the customers zethu is not impacted by into ezifana nombane. As far as the vandalism, ke Lhoza nobusela, those are social issues. I think we all deal with them even in our personal capacities. And there's really very little that we are able to do outside of ukuncedisana nabantu bethu, you know. So if you do know that there's these things that are happening, we beg of our customers to please not keep quiet, because once we are not able to connect, Lhoza is not able to phone me, we're not able to have these kind of conversations. Exactly. But we absolutely are doing something to make sure that customers there to get back to the superior network that they use as abayiqhelile basidla ngobanika as MTN.
Ndiyayithanda ke into yoba kuyo yonke le nto nazi iingxaki ziyabekwa, kodwa niyazama niyi-MTN ukuphucula ezi meko ukwenzela uba noko icustomer noba iyayiva noko i-impact kodwa niyi-minimizer ngolona hlobo, ngaphandle ke kwezinto nyhani ezi-out of i-control yomntu, njengoba sisitsho ubusela nantoni nantoni, nizawungayazi uba kuzawubiwa nini na. But ke ngoku ndifuna ubuza into yobana kulindeleke into yoba lo msebenzi niwenzayo ukuphucula le network uzawuthatha ixesha engakanani umzekelo?
Sesikude kakhulu actually in completing the project, but ndifuna ukucacisa le nto. Ndithethe mos ndathi the project is called network resilience, right? We are making our network resilient to the forces and the elements, whatever they are. Bendisendizithethile. But also, I think it's important for me to first as far as network resilience is concerned. I just need to talk about general improvement of a network, right? We are always going to be expected to improve on a network because technology evolves over the years, but there's also issues of capacity, Lhoza. As an example, abantu baya migrator, you know, apha ephondweni, abantu bazawusuka esikisiki athi umntu, let me go look for greener pastures in East London or eBhayi, you know. So le tower ke ngoku yaseBhayi, I'm going to use a hypothetical scenario that used to take care of my city 1,000 people. Now it's finding itself having to provide the coverage for, I don't know, 10,000 people. So capacity becomes an issue. So improve a network outside of these other issues is always an ongoing thing. We can never get to a place where we say a network is improved and we are 1,000% perfect, because there's operational issues, technology, capacity, and all these other things. Now, coming to the business of the day, as far as the resilience project is concerned, I'm comfortable to say that we're at 94% completion as a business. What that means is that kwii-towers zethu zonke esinazo ephondweni, 94% of those towers are completely resilient. Bendi-explainile mos what does it mean for uba
Yes,
ibe resilient. 94%. And I think that's a good number, and that's a good
yeah.
achievement. So 94% of our
Definitely it is.
people in the province of the Eastern Cape are experiencing a superior network as far as into ezidibene ne-load shedding are concerned. And I'm comfortable to say there's too many places ephondweni that are already on 100% completion. Your Lusikisiki, your Mdantsane, your Ngangelizwes, you know, your Queenstown Rural, Komaqumbu, indawo that were really highly impacted. But ndifuna ukuthi kummameli nomphulaphuli nomxhasi we-MTN, 94% completion is good, and sishiyeke njengo-6% ukwenzela uba sithi yonke into eyithawa ke-MTN is completely resilient. So more than anything, yeah. So, but I think outside of the technicalities of 94%, not 100%, the most important thing is that when we fix the technicalities and the infrastructure, we don't just do them so we can come to these platforms and say we're at 94% completion. We're doing it so that uLhoza athi ndiyavuma into yokuba what I'm experiencing today versus what I experienced same time last year when we hadn't started the project is akufani. Because ultimately zonke bobuxhakaxhaka sithetha ngabo sifuna butranslate to not only an improved but an extremely superior customer experience that is second to none apha ephondweni lethu.
Iyavakala ngenxa yexesha sizayisonga kodwa ndabe ndenza nganto xa ndingacelanga into yobana usinike amazwi okugqibela. Nazi ii-subscribers zika-MTN across iphondo eli wena ulimeleyo. Ungathini kubo nabaphulaphuli nababukeli beKids Ngesi Radio? Sivale Sis Ella.
Andinamazwi for abantu basephondweni. Ndinethamsanqa lokutravelisha the entire Eastern Cape ngomsebenzi wam. Izolo bendikuGatyana. Namhlanje ndiseDutywa, tomorrow ndikuCentane. So I have the privilege of seeing a love that even I cannot explain, and a tolerance. Because remember, if umntu was not experiencing superiority last year, umntu usayigcinile iSIM card yakhe to this year. So all I have is absolute gratitude that abantu bethu have shown us how much they love us, that they have been patient with us, and that they remain supporters as a loyal to the MTN brand. We are so grateful, and we're not just going to come to these platforms and express our gratitude, but we are going to do izinto apho it matters khona. Superiority of our network is primary concern for us as MTN. Thank you so much.
Iyavakala, niyabulelwa ke baphulaphuli, ungabe nitakataka nihambe nihlalana apha ekhaya kuthiwa nali ikhaya lenu. MTN yanibulela kakhulu ngenkxaso yenu engagungqiyo. Uthi kuyathembisa into yobana uzawuqinisekisa into yobana uniphathela inkonzo engenachaphaza, uzawuqinisekisa into yobana jonga zonke iziseko ziqinile kwenzela into yobana aninike inkonzo esulungekileyo. Sis Ella, thank you so much. Siyabulela ngexesha lakho sinike lona.
Nkosi kakhulu Lhoza. Siyabulela.
All right, mphulaphuli nguSis Ella lowo nje wasenchilo, MTN Eastern Cape Regional Marketing Manager. Siyabulela ke ngubana from time to time besithi gqolo bezoni-update into yobana bandawuni na ke phaya MTN ngezinto zokuphucula into yobana ube ne-network